What's up guys? In today's video I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you how to create an AI based on the data that we generated in the previous video. This video is going to be shorter, but yeah, let's get to that. First of all, remember that we generated some data and we have it here, and it was something like this. We have a lot of attributes here, and at the end we have the class, and you can see that here we have the values. So we have the values of the attributes, and then here we have the class. So we need to create an AI for this, but the thing of the AI is that we are going to use the sklearn library, and this library is going to work well with pandas. So yeah, let's get to that and let's load all this data. You are going to see that we are going to have a lot of issues, and yeah, first of all, let's create here a file called ai.py. And here, let's start. So, what is the first thing that we have to do? We have to open the file. So with open, let's create here also a variable in which we are going to put file name is going to be equal to the name of the file, in this case data.csv. And okay, we put here file name, and one important thing. MetaTrader 5, MQL5 stored the file in a different encoding, not the one that all the programming languages use, which is the UTF-8. No, it used the encoding name CP1252. We have to use this encoding. Okay, now that we have this, we can store the file here and we can do the following. So for example, let's just try to read the header, this one, the first line. Let's just try to do that. So for example, we could do that for since this file is not very big, we can load all the lines. So here we can do f read lines, okay, and now we have here all the lines. Now what we can do is that, for example, let's say that the header is going to be equal to, first of all, we take let's store the first line here. So lines 0, here we have the first line, and now we are going to do the following. First of all, let's just print this line and see what we have. So let's open the terminal, and here instead of PowerShell, we are going to open the CMD Python AI. Okay, we have a problem because encoding, that was wrong. So we try again, and okay, you can see that we have this first thing, which is very strange, this first character. You have to remove this because I don't know why MQL5 created that. But look, things are going to get worse when we split the line. So for example, let's say that the line is going to be equal to the actual line, but we are going to split the line with the commas. So we have a list of the arguments. So now check what is going to happen. Okay, I forgot to save. Let's save. Okay, I don't know why we have in all every character we have this bar and then the X and then 0 0 in all of them. I don't know why. So in order to fix this is very simple. Let's create here a function. Let's call it def fix line. It is going to receive a line, and this is going to be very important. Let's put an optional argument in which we are going to say if we are fixing the header or not, because here the header just contains letters, but the other values contain numbers. So here we are going to put is header, and at the beginning this is going to be false. Okay, so how do we fix this? Let's put here line is equal to line, and first of all, let's replace this character, this strange character. Let's take this, and here let's say, okay, I want to replace this with nothing. Perfect. Now that we have this, we also need to replace the /n, the last character. So we replace that, and now we can do the split. So here we are going to split, and remember, after splitting, we have all the issues. So yeah, Now here we have a list like this. Yeah, everything is splitted, but we have always this /x00, and we don't want that. So what we can do is that, okay, now this line, which is going to be a list, is going to be, okay, let's do a loop that for every element in the line, because now this is a list, you can see that here this is actually a list. For every element here, what I want you to do is to replace the following. So I want you to replace the /x00 by nothing. So let's leave it like that. Okay. And now we actually have finished, but remember here, this is only for the header. If we are not in the header, we need to transform everything that we have here in numbers. But let's do this later. For now, let's leave it like this. Return line. And here we are going to say that the header is going to be equal to the fixed line. Well, the first fixed line. So here we put a 0. Perfect. And let's try. Let's see what happens. Okay, I forgot to put a print. Let's put a print for header. Let's save. Okay. And now you can see that we have everything fine. There is not any error. This was really a headache because I was thinking like, hey, what the what happened? So yeah, let's continue. Let's put data. Now we are going to load the data, and this data is going to be a list that is going to contain the lines. So it is going to contain a list with a lot of lists. So here we have the data, and now we need to iterate through the lines. But in this case, we are not going to iterate through the first one. And you are going to see now another thing that got me like, what is happening? So here, we are going to do this. We are going to enumerate the lines, and you are going to see why I'm going to enumerate that. And let's say that, okay, I don't want to take the first line. So we put here that go from the second one until the last one. So check this out. Let's going to print the line, and let's going to break because we don't want to go all over the file. You see that now we are not printing anything. And this is like, what? If we continue, let's remove this. You are going to see, okay, let me save. You are going to see that the lines are separated with a line in which there is just a new line character. So this is like, what? So again, in order to fix this, the only thing you have to do is to take the odd, the even lines. So for example, we are going to put here a 0, and if we are in an even line, we are going to add to the data some information. So here we are going to add the, well, not the line, the fixed line. But now we need to do something else, because you can see that here we have numbers, and it would be nice that instead of having these numbers as a string, that we have them as a float, for example. So here we are going to say, okay, if we are not in the header, the line is going to be equal to a list in which for each element in line, we are going to, and here we should put true, because each header is true, we are in the header. So here we are going to just do a cast to float, sorry. So, okay, we have that. And now everything I think should be fine. So for example, now we could print the data. Well, let's print it at the end. After we open the file, let's print data. And let's see what happens now. So, okay, header is not defined. So let me check what is that. Okay, line 8. Here, header, I forgot to put is, yeah, like this. And could not convert to float this. Why not? Okay, here we have the other error, and is that the last line is like this. It's an empty string. So here we have to just simply say, okay, don't go also to the last line. So let's check if now everything works. Okay, we still have errors. And I think that, yeah, it was here. Like I was showing you before that, yeah, the first line, is an empty line. So here we have to say, okay, don't go to the first one, go to the next one. Okay, so now I guess that, okay, now everything is fine. So let's stop this because my computer is starting to go slow. So let's stop, please. Stop. Oh my god. Okay. And yeah, let's remove this print. Okay, so now here in the data we have all the data that we need. We have the header and data. Now we can create a pandas data frame. And you might be wondering, hey, why didn't you use the function read.csv? So the pandas library didn't like any of the things, the strange things that this file had. So that's why I didn't use that. So now we can do it very simple. And it's as simple as, first of all, let's import pandas. Let's put here import pandas as pd. Perfect. And now we just simply create a data frame. And how do we create the data frame? It is as simple as, first of all, sending the data and then sending the columns, the name of the columns. And here we have them as the header. Perfect. So here we have df. And now let's do the following. So Python AI, everything is loaded. Okay. Let's print the data frame so we can see if we have any mistake. And okay, look, now we have everything as we wanted. We have here the RSI 0, then the standard deviation increment, and let's check if the values are fine. So here, let's go to the data CSV, and in the first line, the first one is 62.73, okay, 62.77, 48, okay, it's fine. So, okay, let's continue. Now that we have this, we can do some things. So for example, we can check the types. Because if we check the types, we can see that all the attributes are float, but the class is also a float. And we don't want that. The class can simply be an integer. And how do we change that? How do we change this last column to an integer? It is as simple as doing, okay, df, and we are going to go to the class, which is the last header saved, is going to be df, and we access the last header, and we say this is going to be as type, and for example, int 32 bits. Perfect. So now if we do again what we did before to print the types, we print them. You're going to see that now, okay, I forgot to save. I always forgot to save. I should turn on the autosave. Yeah, autosave. You can see here that the class is an integer, so we did that very well. Now we are going to come to the fun part. We are going to actually create the neural network. So how do we create the neural network? First of all, we need to import it from sklearn. So we are going to put from sklearn neural network import MLP classifier. And MLP stands for multi-layer perceptron. Perfect. So now we are going to declare this multi-layer perceptron, and it is as simple as putting, for example, this variable is going to be NN, neural network. And yeah, we are going to use the constructor. And here we can send a lot of things. So for example, I see that in the documentation, they always put this random state 1, but now let's come to the hidden layer sizes. So, one thing, I know that there are lots of ways of looking the best hyperparameters. Here, I'm just putting a simple tutorial, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. For example, in the hidden layer sizes, since we have a layer, well, the input layer has 20 neurons, we are going to put 40. And then we have another one, 60, I think this is called fade out. We are making the neural network go bigger, but then we are fading in because we are going to make it smaller. I'm just going to do that. Then the maximum number of epochs, iterations, are going to be like, for example, let's put maximum number equal to 3000. Then the activation, we are going to use the sigmoid. You could play with this, like for example, you could try the relu, you could try the tan h, and all those things. So here, in order to use the sigmoid, you have to put logistic. Perfect. And now the solver is going to be the stochastic gradient descent. SGD. Perfect. Again, you can change this, you can improve it, you can take better hyperparameters, but yeah, this is the way I'm going to do it. Okay, now that we have this, we need to set the data for for the neural network, for training that. So we need to separate the actual data from the class. So here what we are going to do is that X is going to be only the attributes, and then we are going to have Y that is is going to be are going to be only the attributes, and Y is going to contain only the class. Okay, so here, how do we do this? Since the data frame contains all the columns, it is as simple as saying, okay, from the data frame, just drop the last column. So here, we are going to say drop the column class, and the axis is going to be 1. This axis 1 means that you are using a column. If you put here axis 0, you are going to drop the row. So what I'm doing here is, okay, I have the data frame with everything, and now I'm just removing the class. But I'm not really removing it from the data frame. I'm just sending the result of removing that column to X. So okay, now on I just simply have to say, okay, I just need the header one, the class. So here X contains everything and Y contains only the class. Now we are ready to start testing and playing with the neural network. So for example, here what we can do is that from sklearn again, we need to import the model selection, and here we are going to import the cross-validation score, not cross-val predict score. Perfect. So what is this? It's basically a way of training, splitting the data, so you use every piece of the data as a test. We could go very deep on this, but yeah, it is a nice way to see how well the neural network is working. So for example, here we are going to say, okay, cross-val score, and here we need to send the estimator, in our case is the neural network, X, Y, and here we should send the cross validations. Remember that the cross things, I don't know the exact name, but basically we need to say on how many parts do we want to divide the data. So for example, we are going to divide it in 5 parts. So we are going to train the neural network 5 times, and we are going to use every piece of the data, every division of the data as a test. So yeah, so basically we are going to use the 20% of the data as a test, but we are going to use all the data for that. Okay, so this function returns a value which is the mean. So for this is going to be very useful. We are going to call this result, and here we are going to have the mean of the successes of the neural network. How many times does the neural network predict well? So here let's put a print and let's say percentage of success. Okay, semicolon, and here we are going to print the result, and indeed we could simply do the following. We could put here 2f this result, and we can concatenate to everything a percentage. So let's see if this is going to work. Okay, we have a problem, and this is not a dollar, this is this. Okay, perfect. So let's check if everything is going to work fine. Okay, this is going to work very well, and here I should put result by 100, but we are basically seeing that the neural network has a success rate of the 74%. This is truly very fine. So yeah, now that we have this was just like a test. The neural network is still not trained. We need to train the neural network. And how do we do this? We are going to take it, the neural network, and we are going to use the fit function. Here we are going to send X and we are going to send Y. Now, after this function is executed, the neural network is truly now trained. So now what we have to do is to save this neural network trained in a file. How do we do this? It is as simple as this. I don't want this. Let's import pickle, this library, and what we can do is, okay, we are going to open a file. Open, and let's say this is going to be the neural network model, and it's going to contain the extension pkl, and we are going to open this as write but binary, and this is going to be as f. Here you just simply put pickle dump, and we say, okay, dump the neural network into this file. That's it. That's how you save the neural network. We could also do the following. What if we want to load things? So in order to load, you put with open the same name, well, the name of your model pkl, and here we are going to use rb, like binary read, as f, and instead of pickle dump, you just have to use pickle load, and you just simply put the file here, and you say that a variable nn, for example nn2, is going to be something like this. But we don't want to load, we just want to save, and yeah, that's it. Let's try it. Python AI, and we have to check that here a new file is generated. So okay, you can see that the file was generated, and this means that now we have a neural network. The next step is just creating the bot, and the bot must use this function. So yeah guys, that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I always forget, you have this code in GitHub. So you come here to my GitHub. By the way, this is in the description. AI trading bot, and here now you have the AI. Indeed, this is the same file that we implemented, but here I put it more comments so it's more understandable. So here we have this comment in English and then in Spanish. So yeah, so you could all understand and see what I'm doing. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you understood it, and if so, give it a like, share, subscribe, and see you in the next one.